Trump has filed yet another defamation lawsuit. This one was filed last Monday against the ABC News Network and George Stephanopoulos over a question that he asked the Republican Congressman Nancy Mace, who supports Trump. This is the question that Stephanopoulos asked, quote, "You've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Donald Trump has been found liable for rape by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of the rape by a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge," end quote. Nancy Mace kept responding to questions on that subject with an assertion that Stephanopoulos was trying to shame her because she was a rape victim. I don't try to understand Trumpster comments anymore using a rational person standard. When Judge Kaplan, who oversaw the two Carroll defamation cases, instructed the first Carroll jury in May of 2023, he used the definitions of rape and sexual assault found in the New York Penal Code. Both are felonies under New York law, but conviction requires guilt beyond a reasonable doubt in a criminal case, whereas a civil suit can be won using the lower proof standard or preponderance of the evidence. The jury in the Carroll suit found that Trump had sexually assaulted Carroll, but did not rape her using those definitions. The New York Code has two elements for proving rape. The first is that Trump engaged in sexual intercourse with Carroll, which is defined as any penetration, however slight, of the penis in the vaginal opening, and the second element is that this was done without Carroll's consent. If the jury found by the preponderance of evidence that Trump did not penetrate Carroll with his penis, but did with his fingers, then a verdict was justified for sexual abuse or assault, but not for rape. Shortly after the jury's verdict in the first Carroll case, Carroll reasserted her claim that Trump raped her. Trump then filed a defamation claim against Carroll, raising the same issue that he is now raising in this defamation lawsuit against Stephanopoulos. That is, the jury finding that he did not rape Carroll. Judge Kaplan dismissed the Trump claim for defamation, reasoning that penetration by fingers but not by the penis falls under the common understanding of what rape means, calling it a digital rape, and consequently Miss Carroll's repetition of her rape claim after the jury verdict was substantially true, which means it could not form the basis of a defamation claim against her as a matter of law. Judge Kaplan dismissed the issue that Trump is claiming now against Stephanopoulos in two orders that can be found online. The first is his order denying Trump's motion for a new trial, and the second was his order granting Carroll's motion to dismiss Trump's defamation counterclaim against her. Trump's defamation claim against ABC and Stephanopoulos suffers from the same legal problem as his claim against Carroll for using the word rape after the jury verdict. That is, penetration by Trump's fingers would fall under a common definition of rape, even though it does not meet the standard for rape under the New York Penal Code for a criminal conviction. So is Trump going to claim that forced finger penetration is not rape? There is another reason why a court will likely dismiss Trump's claim. There are a lot of cases where courts have dismissed claims against news organizations who are merely summarizing a holding by a court or claims made by a party to the lawsuit. And defamation law focuses on whether the statements are substantially true. And Judge Kaplan has held that Trump's finger penetration, which the jury did find him liable for doing, would be commonly understood as rape, and consequently the gist or substance of Stephanopoulos' statement is true, even though it is not precisely accurate using the New York Penal Code definition of rape. Trump is notorious for filing defamation suits. In my opinion, he has used for decades the filing of defamation suits and the threat of filing to bully and intimidate critics and journalists. Recently, Trump was ordered to reimburse the New York Times and 3 reporters for $393,000 in attorney's fees after his defamation suit was dismissed by a judge. I published a video on that subject, which I will link in the More column below. Earlier this month, a judge in London ordered Trump to pay a defendant that he sued for libel or defamation £300,000, even though Trump's lawsuit was dismissed early in the litigation. An article published in an American Bar Association publication in 2016 titled, quote, "Donald J. Trump is a libel bully but also a libel loser," end quote, noted that Trump had never won a single speech-related case filed in public court. The article summarized some of those losses. The author pointed out that Trump sent a countless number of cease and desist letters to journalists and critics threatening them with lawsuits that were not filed. Eventually, some will win a case against a defamation suit filed by Trump and will then sue Trump and his lawyers who signed the pleadings with malicious prosecution, and will seek punitive damage in addition to sanctions after the dismissal of the claim in the original action.